Haley. Well, now it's time for our segment of Today's Health, and we have with us Karen Donaldson once again, and she has something that's making my nose and my taste buds go. This smells so good. So, Karen, what do we have today? What is this?
Well, really, this is like a whole bunch of stuff from my garden, but it's also, when I cook, I like to make several meals out of it so that I don't have to cook like every night, because I don't want to cook every night, and I think most people don't either. So the basic recipe starts out as kind of a tomato spaghetti sauce. All I did was take a bunch of tomatoes from the garden, probably about 10, 12, 14 tomatoes, put them in a big pot, added some zucchini to it. I chopped the zucchini up into some pretty bite-sized chunks. I don't like to chop really small either. I'm the lazy cook. Added some onions to it, and then a big thing of parsley, a big bunch of parsley, and a little bit of olive oil, and just let that simmer down for about 4 hours. So it starts out about this big, and then it really concentrates and simmers down.
So if you think you have a bunch, don't worry.
No, you'll be okay. It's probably not going to overflow.
Okay, and then for the tomatoes, real fast before you go on, if you don't have a garden like me, unfortunately, when you're buying tomatoes, what kind of tomatoes should we get? Should they be squishy gushy, or
the more ripe the better for this particular recipe? It's just going to bring out the flavor more, and they're already kind of squishy anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it's a good way to use up some squishy ones that you might have at home. So just simmer those down for about 4 hours, give or take. Either side, you could use a crock pot if you didn't want to do it on the stove. And then I added a little bit of Italian seasoning to it, but you could add whatever you like to. So that's kind of the basic part of that. You could then take that and freeze it. What I did next was I cooked up some chicken. Some boneless, skinless chicken breast. Honestly, you could bake this or just boil the chicken. It just takes about 10 or 15 minutes to boil it. Chopped it up into some pieces, and once again, I made a whole bunch extra because I thought, well, if I'm going to cook chicken, I'm going to cook some chicken, and then I'll have some for some other meals.
And is the chicken boiled? Is that a healthier way to cook it? So that way or does it not matter?
It's just fast.
Okay.
This was like I wanted a lot of meals, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time. So while this was boiling, then I just cooked up some chicken. You could bake it as well. But it also, the nice thing about boiling it is it's not going to have any flavor, so you can add it to whatever dishes you want to and then flavor it up that way.
Wonderful.
So then I just added this chicken to the sauce and put it over a little bit of rice. If you were watching your carbohydrates, you wouldn't necessarily add it to the rice. You could serve that separately. But then other people in the family who would like some rice, then they can have their rice as well.
Wonderful.
So that worked out well. Then I'm going to save this chicken and do something with stir fry with it later on this week, which will be really easy. Save some of the sauce and add some sausage or something else to it to make more of a traditional spaghetti sauce, which will be nice. And then if you just thin it a little bit and put a little bit of rice in there, then you have kind of a tomato, rice, chicken soup concoction of some sort. So it's a good way to get 5 or 6 meals out of maybe 45 minutes prep time.
This is the meal of many hats. Like you can just pull things out.
And just freeze it away and use it for other stuff.
So what are the nutritional values of this? Like when's the best time to eat it for it to digest and not put on the extra pounds, or is it just simply a really healthy meal?
It's really healthy. There's a lot of protein in it depending on how much chicken you put in it, and a ton of vegetables. And the vegetables will give you fiber, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and so on. So you really can't go wrong. The only way you could go wrong is if you're watching your carbs and you had too much rice. So you'd want to be cautious for that. A third of a cup of rice is a serving of cooked rice, which really isn't a lot of rice. You know, so it just kind of adds a little something. But if you're not worried about that, then go ahead and have as much rice as you want to. That's really the only thing that's going to maybe do something to your blood sugars. And we were talking about next month is National Diabetes Month. So we're actually having a talk at our office on Tuesday, November 1st, on what different foods do to your blood sugars, proteins, carbohydrates, fats, and fibers. We'll have some recipes like this available. So that's on November 1st. And then on Thursday, November 17th, we're having a health fair. And people can get all their blood work done for $35, including their blood sugars.
Wonderful. So next month,
next month is National Diabetes Month, so we'll be focusing a lot on health fairs, diabetes things, blood sugars, carbohydrates.